Okay, it is now already. Good morning this morning, everybody, or anywhere you are watching us from. Maybe might be good morning in some area, might be good afternoon, might be good evening in some area. So, good morning, everybody. I have later decided to make this class live just for once today. So, probably if you have chance to join the class, or I'll probably be joining later. Maybe you watch the video later. Yeah. So you'll be able to know what you probably what you are expected to do during the exam. So I have some questions that I've designed for the purpose of revision. So I think it will be better for all of us here. Better for all of us here. Like people in my private class that they already know me, they will definitely pay for revision class. So some will not, some will say because I'm here, I'll not pay for revision class. I'll still be the one to take us in the revision class for general class. But the attitude and the tune might be different. So if you are here in this private class, so you should be able to also pay for the revision class to general. So at least by the time we solve some question here, we also solve in general class. And by that time, you'll be able to catch up and know what you are up for. So this morning I'll be in some question. I think maybe you can start from this aspect that carry weight. This question number one is probably on one of the chapters that is kind of technical a bit. But before we proceed, there is this thing I used to tell my students. In everything we want to do, we have to pray first. So after prayer, then there are some very, very important. I'm sure everybody we are Muslims here, everybody probably we are Muslims or Christian or traditional. So you probably wake up this morning, do your morning devotion for Muslim, go to mosque or pray inside your room. So we have established that Almighty Allah is going to guide us through this class today. Then uh secondly, there are some tips that you need to understand. Please, everybody, I hope you are hearing me very well. Please, let's make this class be an interactive class. I'm going to be asking us a lot of questions because that is how I sense you can be carried along in this revision class. So I'll be asking us a lot of questions. Please confirm if you can hear me very well, everybody. Hello.
Me, I can hear you. I don't know of others.
Okay. Please just use your emoji if you can hear me so that we know the how I count. Okay, so if you are hearing me, okay, thank you, Mr. Moses and Fatima. And, okay, so now I know you can hear me. So, in the case of an exam, there are these 4 tips that it is very, very important. We have we are done with our chapter review, both in general class and private class here. We are done with our chapter review. We have substantially from chapter 1 to chapter 15. In one way or the other, explain to ourselves what we are to write in the exam. So the whole chapter review center on what to write, how you expected to, if they ask you what is audit evidence, for example, in accordance with ISA 700, you'll be able to, yes, 700, you'll be able to say something. Or audit reports, rather, ISA 700, you'll be able to say something. And substantially say what you know about it. That is the whole chapter review is all about. And that one, I can say, might go with like about 40 to 50% of our exam. But another important fact is how to write. You might know what they ask you, but how to put it down. Are you writing it in a way that is going to suit the examiner's way? Are you linking your answer, every answer you are providing? Are you providing the answer in respect to the question they ask you? Are you making reference to that scenario they give you in the question? So if you are not doing all these things, you are not writing anything, irrespective of whatever you might have understood that they're asking you. But your inability not to link your answer to the given scenario, and you are not you are not in this state of mind where you have already calmed your mind that, oh, this is what I'm going to write, there will be issue. So that is why you see some people say, I've written this audit and I say 4 times, 5 times, because they have failed to uh, to understand the concept of that question. And if you fail to understand the concept of the question, definitely, definitely, there will be issue. So, for the sake of our revision class, both here in private and general class, we shall go to substantially explain to ourselves what we are to do and how we're expected to put down our answer in a proper way that will give us suitable mark to pass our exam. So, this is the question. And one of the tips that you need to know, number one, is very, very important. In fact, the whole 4 tips is very, very important. You cannot underemphasize it. They are very, very important. Tips number one is your ability to understand the given scenario. This is the scenario-based question now that you are seeing in your thoughts. When you read through the scenario, you should be able to pinpoint, to understand the issue that happens to this question, or the reason why they ask you this question. If you fail to understand that, they are not going anywhere. So the first step is to understand that scenario very well. This question that I want to fix. If you don't understand it, that is why they used to say they give us 15 minutes reading time. Because you should be able to program yourself that this question, try and understand what is the issue. It is the issue. Once you are able to understand the issue, then your brain will be open to now know how best you can answer it. So this number one is to understand the given scenario, which of course we are going to read through for ourselves, and everybody is going to. I'm going to ask us questions probably, and what you think about it. Question number tips number 2. Please, are we following for that? Tips number 1. Do we understand? Do we get it very well? Tips number 1 is to understand the given scenario, and which of course is this one you are seeing on your screen. Please, can I proceed, please, everybody? Please, please reply to me. This is a private class. It's not general class. The class is on mute for everybody to talk. I want to hear your contribution this morning. Let everybody talk. Do we understand tips number 1? I accept if you are in a place where you cannot talk.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
I want us to be talking. Yes, I want us to be talking.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So,
hello, I don't. Why the question?
I'm not asking questions, sir.
Okay.
Please
So
just
far,
listen very well.
you need to have heard. I understand.
Okay, please let us be attentive and follow this class. So I'll be asking us at regular interval if you understand the question we are asking us. It's for our own purpose and for our own good. So now that we've understood the tips number 1, tips number 2 is very, very important, is to understand the requirement. Tips number 1 is to understand the given scenario. Of course, this is the scenario. This is what happened. We are going to read it for ourselves. Tips number 2 is to understand the given requirements. What are they asking you to write? And I'm very, very sure. Once you understand step number one, step number two will be easy for you to digest. We used to call something pieces. Okay, let me just see pieces. Once you understand tips number one, you'll be able to pieces that tips number two to your own understanding. By then, you'll be something will be coming to your brain that this is the writing scenario. Understand the requirement. Once you understand the requirement, tips number three is very, very important. Very, very important. Out of four tips number three is very, very important. You shouldn't joke with it. And that tips is going to determine whether you are going to pass this thing or not. Tips number three is you must be able to link your answer to the given scenario. You have understood tips number one, which says you have to understand the scenario, what actually happened in the question they ask you. Tips number two, you have to understand the given requirements. What are they asking you to write? Once you understand it, it's going to create a better way for you to now know how to answer. And the way you want to answer, you must be able to make reference to that scenario, to that given scenario. Here, Adedeji and partner is the chartered accountant. Okay. And the company going this question is Average Food Limited. So every answer you be giving to me, or there is issue. That is why you have this question in your paper. So as a professional, you are called upon to come and give what professional advice on the given scenario. So every advice in any way you want to shape your answer, every advice, professional advice you want to give, you have to link that your answer to the given scenario. What you are trying to say that this solution I'm providing this solution in respect to Harvest Food Limited, which was the issue they told to me. They asked me professionally, can I do this thing for this particular company? So the answer I'm giving is in response to what to this particular company they call upon for me to come and give engagement on. So tip number three is is your ability to link your answer to the given scenario. Are we following, please, everybody? Are we following? Okay. So the last tip is very, very important. Also, is our time management. Time management. You can never underestimate the time management. Once you do not manage your time very well, you might know what to write, you might know how to write, you might understand that you have to link your answer to the given scenario. But you not channel your time very well. Before you know, 3 hours, 15 minutes that they gave you in the exam, it will just dust off. You know what? The reason why you are unable to answer your question very well is because you do not plan your time very well. While I was writing that time, I don't answer question number one first of all. And I always start with that section C because I know that 15-mark question will be kind of easy for me to answer. Yes. Although you see some 20-mark question that will be easy for you to manipulate and you get your mark. But most important, most of the time, those 15-mark questions always easy for you to navigate. So I'll start from that section C first. So now time myself. This under section C, I know I'm going to answer 2 questions. So, and which is 30 marks. So I'll time myself that for this section C, out of 3 hours, I should be able to use 40 minutes. That is 20 minutes plus 20 minutes at most 45 minutes for this 30-mark question. At most. Because you find all those section C questions interesting to answer and it can be relatively cheap. Like this chapter that we treated in question number 1, that we treated yesterday. If it's going to come out, if ICA is not going to be wicked, it's going to come out. It will come out in section C, which is 15-mark question. Like that chapter 13, which is internal control and outsourcing. If they are coming out, they will definitely come out at 15-mark question. Except even though they can easily attach it to as bonus mark in question number one in some cases. But however, your time management is very, very important. Time yourself that this section C that you want to start off, section B, section B is 30 marks. Time yourself that for each of the questions I'm using 30 minutes. That's 1 hour. Then section C, 40 minutes. That's 1 hour, 40 minutes. You still have about how many minutes left? So that the other time that we channel it on question number one. Did you know that question number one cannot be straightforward? Although in some cases it used to be straightforward, but they must give you leg over somewhere because it is 30 mark question. Just imagine 30 mark question cannot be easy to come about. So just start with question number one first. Now try and see how you can manage your time to answer 4 questions within space of 1 hour, 40 minutes or 1 hour, 15 minutes. So the other time, channel it on question number one. Write everything you know. Do everything possible that you do not need any space on touch in your book. And I bet it with you. And with prayer, you come back and come and give your testimony. If you are properly channel your answer to these 4 things I've given you, and you read very well, and with prayer, you can surely come back with testimony. So, haven't you understand all these things to us? Let us now dive into the question. So, when we want to provide the answer, when we want to start answering the question, I'm going to ask us first of all what we think about the scenario before we now start answering. So, my dear professionals, can we proceed, please? Are we all following? Everybody. I just need our attention.
Yes, please. I am following. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Please, I don't understand. Good morning. I was just locked out. I'm struggling with network.
We've never started anything. What is it that you don't understand, sir? Mr.
Please, I was just locked out by network. I was struggling joining.
We've not started anything. I was just giving us the tips to answer the question, and of which you probably come across it maybe in the general class. Just listen to we just want to start solving the question. And all these tips that I've given us before now, we will still reflect it when we want to answer the question. So just settle down. If you have a question, please just raise up your hand. When we start writing or solving the answer, if you don't understand any part, please just signify. I'm going to give the audience to talk. Like I said, this is not general class. We are much in general class. I might not have time to be asking questions. But yeah, you are not much. You can easily ask everybody what you think about the whole situation. We are good to go. So, let us proceed. Please confirm if you can see my screen very well, everybody. With your emoji. Just with your emoji, confirm if you can see my screen. All right.
I'm sorry, please. I can't see it. I don't know if you can post the question to the WhatsApp platform. Mine, I'm sure his network is not coming up.
Maybe you have to log out and log in again. I can't now. It is confidential now, so I cannot put it there. And a lot of people are just going for the sake of a share class. So just bear with me now. So after the class, I'm going to copy out this question that we solved today and the answer. I'll post it to the group chat. But this part you are saying comprises all the whole question that I want to solve for this diet. So I cannot just send it to the group like that. I hope you understand me.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Okay, please, maybe you should log out and log in again. Please, everybody, confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, so let us proceed. by this time now, after now, I'm expecting us to like at least to have paper and pen beside us to be jotting some things you probably uh, uh, you probably you can jot from the question. So I think that would be better. Just give me like 2 minutes, please. Okay. Then a disclaimer again, because I know the kind of uh, student I'm dealing with. Some of students are just naturally crazy. Let it be understand. Let us be aware that I'm not advertising my private class for you to join. Or and for those of us reaching out to me, I want to join the revision class. That is why I'm making it live on YouTube now, being the first time. Because the next time we'll be having this revision class again, I will not put it on YouTube. So that people will not be going, because I have had a lot of issues. Tabi will just call me that some students are there, they're dropping message for him that I am advertising private class. I want them to join by force, all those things. It's actually not anytime you call me for that kind of thing, that like I used to be pissed off. So let it be let it be in the record. That is why I'm saying it. And I said it in the private class, in the general class yesterday. I'm not advertising my private class to anyone. People that are here, they know me. And we carry ourselves as, because I see that people that will probably carry their money and say they want, I'm sure you are mature that than those people that will just be saying because probably they cannot afford the amount I said, okay, I want to collect. And it is not by cost. He will just go and be telling something rubbish to Kabir down, will just message me and a lot of things. Please let this be our known that I'm not advertising the private class, neither I'm forcing anybody to join. So that is why I make it like if you are following some people are on YouTube now, they are watching, they do not pay anything for the revision class. But I just make it like that from my own mind, because next week is not going to be like that. So let it be in the record so that it will not be like, that is what we used to do. Okay, so we'll start now. Please, I hope we understand. It's just a disclaimer because if anybody or if Kabir call me for this kind of this thing, I might actually fix that I'm not going to lecture again. And so probably nobody is paying me for anything. So if people want to join the private class after them, because I know some students are very, very crazy. Even to the extent that some will even be talking to you anyhow. How well is well, sha. Let us just ignore those people. So let us start our class now. Proper. The reason why we are here. Please confirm if you can hear me, please.
We can. I for one can hear.
I can hear you.
Okay, so let us go. Like I said, by now we should be able to like gather small paper and pen beside us because from this kind of question like this, you should be able to be you should be able to jot one or two things that will help you navigate to when you want to start answering the question. So let us go. And this is the question. Question number one. So if you are asking this kind of question, definitely it might come out as 30-mark question. Although I can might be crazy sometimes, this kind of question as it is They might even bring it in a 15-mark question or 20-mark question. But the likes of that chapter 14 audit report, that chapter 8 audit evidence, chapter 7 audit planning, if they are coming out, it should come out as 30-mark question. So let us go. Please, are we ready? Can I proceed, please, everybody? All right. So let us go. And thanks to Adesua. She was the one that actually linked me up with this question that we should solve it in the class. So when I visited the question, I go through the question. I see that there's a lot in this question. In fact, that chapter we treated yesterday, that I said I'm very, very confident that ICANN is going to test that part in the exam this day. It's also part of this question that we are going to treat. So we will also treat it in general class too. And everybody, we are just going to enjoy this revision class. And after before the exam, I'm still going to do chapter review on all the chapters. What are the things we are expected to know in each of the chapters, so before the exam. All right, so let us go. Adedeji and partners, please, I want us to be following critically. I will not rush. Adedeji and partners, a firm of chartered accountants, has recently been appointed as statutory auditor of Prime Harvest Food Limited. Adedeji and partners, let us take it as if everybody here in this class, both people join us on the YouTube live and here, we are the member of staff of Adedeji and partners. And our company has just been appointed as external auditor by Prime Harvest Food Limited, a medium-sized agricultural processor. They are not telling us about Prime Harvest Limited now. We have established that we, Adedeji and partners, we are the external auditor of Prime Harvest Food Limited. So they now want to quickly tell us what Prime Harvest Food Limited is all about. So that's what we want to do now. Please be following me with your emoji if you are following, please. Just give me your emoji. Let me know that you are following. Okay. So a medium-sized agricultural processing company operating in Nigeria. The company processes and distributes packaged organic food products for both local and export markets. They said the company, they are medium-sized agricultural processing company besides in Nigeria. That is, it is a Nigerian company. But they process and distribute what they are packaging to both local, that is within Nigeria, and export market and outside Nigeria. Are we following very well? Are we following small, everybody? Are we following? Okay. So let us proceed if we are following. Now, this is the first year that Adedeji and partner will audit the company. Let me ask us a question here. Please, I will just need two people to answer. Being the first year of that is Adedeji and partner, it is the first time we are auditing that company. What are the things statutorily that we need to consider when we want to do audit of this company? What are the things that we need to consider? Very, very important. There are just two things that you need to consider. First of all,
professional clearance.
So who can tell me if you have been following this stuff? Professional clearance, yes. Mr. Latunji, you have to get professional clearance from the previous auditor. Yes. Number two. That number one is the one you said now, sir, is actually not most important aspect, but it's part of it. So, who can help?
Hello, sir.
Hello,
sir. Yes, sir. Let me try.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, sir. First and foremost, you must have the competence of going into this kind of audit. You must have the resources before you move into must have the skill, must have the professional technical,
Mr.
the professional
Aldra,
certificate.
yes,
Yes, sir.
hold on, sir. Mr. Aldra, yes, you are right. But I just said two. Yeah, but this one now is not most important. I said the most important thing that you need to do, first of all.
You must
Hello,
confirm from the
hello,
former auditor. You must confirm from the
Mr.
former auditor by sending a letter.
Mr. Olatunji said that. Mr. Olatunji said that. Okay, you can mute your mic, sir. You can mute your mic, sir.
Oh.
hello, sir.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Hello,
Mr.
sir.
Olatunji, please go on.
Yeah,
I can hear
another
you.
thing I just thought of now is that you need to understand the nature of the business and the environment.
Beautiful, beautiful. Excellent, sir. You need to understand the business of that before you can now do what? Before you can now plan. So, if you are following this question, definitely this question will later ask us about planning. That what are the things that you are going to put in your audit planning? Because what? This is your first time audit. Please, let's note that. Okay, Olasade, please, you have the floor. You raise up your hand before.
Oh no, the other man has answered what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, so the most important thing is to understand the business environment of Prime Harvest Food Limited. What are the risks associated with the business, and what are the regulatory framework that guides the industry? Then it's now an answer to plan. Then after that planning, then you get clearance certificate from the previous auditor. Let us go. Are we following everybody? Are we following, please? All right. So, Grace, what you said, acceptance and engagement letter, it's part of it, but it's not the most important thing that you need to first of all put in place. So let us go. Okay. So this is the first year that Adedeji and partner will audit the company, replacing the previous auditor who had served for over 10 years but choose not to seek reappointment. Let us go. Prime Harvest Food Limited. Financial year ends on 31st December 2024. The audit is scheduled to begin early February 2025. Let us go. During the audit planning phase, this is what I said. During the audit planning phase, the engagement partner and audit team carried out preliminary meeting with the management. From discussion and review of internal documents, the following matters were noted. Are we following? So I can summarize this chapter from where we started to this point that Prime Harvest Limited is a medium-sized agricultural processing company listed in Nigeria. They produce organic food for both local market and export market. And Adedeji and partner has been confirmed as the external auditor for that particular to audit the financial statement of that particular financial year. And this is the first time Adedeji and partner will be auditing the company, because the previous auditor has served the company for the past how many years? 10 years. So during the planning phase, and engagement partner, which is the engagement partner from Adedeji and partner limited, chartered accountant, has met with the management of Prime Harvest Food to review the internal documents, and from the meeting, the following matter were noted. Please, are we following everybody? Are we following? Can I proceed, please? All right. Just your emoji is okay, so that I know that we are following. So let us go. Now, the following matters were noted. Matter one: the company has experienced significant growth in export sales. That is, the company has a very good a significant growth in export sales. That is, they make more money from export sales, right? Especially to the UK and European markets. Export revenue has increased by 45% compared to previous year. They are telling us that from the internal document review, they are able to notice, the engagement partner of Adedeji and partners have noticed that the company has increased by 45% in export sales. That is, there is 45% increase in export revenue sales, mostly the export to UK and European markets. Have you noted that? Two, the company recently acquired new processing plant in northern Nigeria, which require a bank loan. That is, the company also acquire new plants in north, which require bank loan. That is, they will use bank loan to pay for that plant they just acquire. The loan covenants require the company to maintain minimum current ratio and profit margin. That is, before the company can before they can grant them loan, they have to, one of the requirements is to maintain minimum current ratio. That is, what is current ratio? Their ability to respond to short-term financial obligation in a short while, and profit margin, and that is their their gross profit or net profit, as the case may be, over revenue. To maintain their profit margin. That is the criteria before they can be granted that loan to buy what that plant they want to acquire in where in north. Please, are we following? That is why I'm trying to expatiate on this thing we are noting from note 1 to note 2. Are we following, please? Can I proceed? Can I proceed, please?
Come again.
Sir, you are seeing the question here. I don't need to come again. You are seeing the question here. This is not time for me to be coming again. This is the question here. Just read through, and if you do not understand what they are telling you there, then you let me know. What is the issue, Mr. Amudia? Mr. Amudia, what is the issue now?
I cannot read the question. It's too small. The wordings.
I've expanded it now. I've increased the font to 150.
Send the question to our box so that we can print it.
Not now. I just explained that we cannot send the question.
Okay. No
now.
problem.
Can you see it now, sir?
I can manage, but I cannot read.
Go on, sir.
It is clear now.
The fault is not from the lecturer. Expand your screen. There's a place you can expand your screen, mostly on the right hand side. Expand, then you turn your phone to the side. It's more clear and more visible. That's what I did actually.
Hello, please ahead. So you can probably expand from your phone side. I don't know, but I think we just need to move fast now. We spent more than 30 minutes, but however, even though if it is one question we can solve, but actually I have the intention of solving 2 questions, but if it is one we can solve. So I think we will also, since there is no general class again, probably we might be having our class maybe twice in a week, maybe on Saturday and one day of the week. So let us go. Mr. Amudia, I hope you are following now. Can you see the screen very well now, sir? Is it okay from your end? Mr. Amudia, is it okay from your end now, sir?
I have eye problem, so I don't know.
Okay, let me try and read out. Please just listen attentively, sir. That is why I said probably you have one paper and pencil beside you so that please you'll be jotting some of the things. So, note number 2 says that the company has recently acquired new processing plant in North, which require a bank loan. Then the loan covenants require, that is, the criteria to grant you that loan, that you have to maintain a minimum current ratio and profit margin. So what is current ratio? Current ratio is that ratio that shows the ability of an organization to respond to short-term financial obligation in a short while. And the formula for current ratio is current assets over current liability. That is, the current ratio is the ability to respond to short-term financial obligation in a short period of time, and profit margin. So that is the requirement that they need to maintain before they can be granted loan to pay for the new processing plant they acquired in North. Mr. Mudia, do you understand now? Can I proceed now?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So let's go to number 6. Number 6 now says that can harvest food use an in-house inventory system, of which one of the audit checklists is that for every there must be year-end inventory count. You have to count. You have to do even a year-end inventory count. But they said this company now have in-house inventory system, which are issued in the past. That is, this in-house inventory system that they are using have issued before, especially with timely updating of stock record from remote location. That is, they are using in-house inventory system, and this inventory system had issue. And the issue that this inventory system has is that it is unable to update stock record from remote location. That is, any stock record that they took outside Nigeria or in another branch in Nigeria, the in-house inventory system they have cannot update the stock record. Are we following? That is another thing they noted. Can I proceed, please? Then number 4, which is number 4. Inventory make up approximately 40% of total assets. They have total assets. Their total asset, what is total asset? That is current assets plus fixed assets. Give us the total asset. They now said out of the total asset, this inventory that they said it covers 40% of the total asset. So let us go. A physical inventory count is planned for 30th December 20X. The company has invited the audit team to attend. That is, they want to do physical counting of their inventory, and the audit team has invited to attend. Let us go. Number 5. There is a new financial controller appointed only 2 months ago. The previous controller resigned suddenly and left no handover note. Another note to point to note is that this company, they just have new CFO, the finance controller. They just appointed new CFO 2 months ago. They now say that the one that was there before resigned 2 months ago and did not leave any handover note. Handover note is to hand over to the person that will reside over you, or that will take over from you, to give the person the details of the work and where the work has started and where the work ended, how the person supposed to do, what are the things the person supposed to put in place to continue from where he stopped. That is handover note. The previous finance controller did not do any handover note for the current finance controller that just joined them 2 months ago. That's another point to note. Are we following? Are we following, please? All right. So let us go. Another point number 6. The company intends to revalue its land and building for the first time in 5 years. A valuation expert has been engaged. They said the company intends to what? To revalue its land and building for the first time in 5 years. And valuation expert has been what? Has been engaged. Then point number 7. Management has expressed interest in obtaining an unqualified audit opinion as they they are preparing for potential listing on Nigeria Stock Exchange. What they are telling us here is that after everything, the company, they also plan, they have intention that the audit report that the auditor is going to give them after all the audit work should be unqualified audit opinion. So, who can tell me the meaning of unqualified audit opinion? Can I point? Can I ask anyone? Unqualified audit opinion. Okay, Mr. Abiodun, you have the
Hello,
floor.
sir.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
the floor, Mr. Abiodun.
Okay. For unqualified audit opinion, it means an audit opinion that is an opinion that is expressed that the company is free from material misstatements
Not the
and
company,
all
the
the
financial statement,
yeah,
not the company.
the financial statement is free from material misstatement, and it is presented fairly and truly, and also it is presented in accordance, it is prepared and presented in accordance with the regulatory requirements.
Thank you, Mr. Abiodun. So to make it more spice very well, you can say that in accordance with ISA 700, it says that all can be audit unqualified audit opinion can be defined. You now join it with what you just said, but you make it more spice by adding that standard that talks about what the thing you are talking about. Do you get it now, sir? So, and to everybody,
Yes, sir.
if you see the standard that talks about what you want to define, please go ahead and do it. Can we proceed, please? All right. So, what they are saying there that the company have interest in you as in us, that is, we at the big and partner, that we should give them unqualified audit opinion because they want to use that report to be listing in Nigeria Stock Exchange. Meaning that out of all these things, can we say that out of all these points that we note, can we say that the financial statement can be or can be of true and fair view? Can we say that the financial statement can be free from material misstatement? In my own way, from this point that we've noted, I'm not sure. But the company now they say that they want the audit report to be unqualified. So that is the scenario. And remember the case number one that you must understand the given scenario. Can you see the way? So if you are reading the question, you will not waste time like this. So, but as you are reading, you will try to be interpreting the answer in your head. You try to be interpreting the answer in your head. What the vision is talking about in your head. There you can get it very well. I hope I hope you are following everybody. I hope you are following everybody. Okay. So one of the requirement is to what is to understand the given scenario. So as you are reading the scenario, you try and be interpreting it for you to understand what they are actually saying and what actually went wrong in that scenario. So now let us now go to requirement. And tips number 2 talks about what you must understand the given requirement. So let us go. Now, requirements. They said you are required. Identify and explain 4 key matters. Identify and explain 4 key matters that Adedeji and partners should consider when planning the audit of Time Harvest Food Limited. This one is 8 months. That is, you should identify and explain what are the things from all the 5 and 6 or 7 things that they have noted from the meeting they had with the management. What are the things they're supposed to put in their audit planning? That is, they said, identify and explain 4 key matters that Adedeji and partner should consider when planning the audit of Time Harvest Food Limited. Requirement number 2. What are the audit risks associated with loan
I didn't get
covenant?
the requirement one.
Ah, subhanallah. Mr. Bundy, are you seeing the screen at all? Or is it that you are actually listening to what I'm saying, or you are not seeing the screen very well, so that I will know how to do it? Mr. Mudia, please, you are not responding again.
I'm listening, but I'm not seeing the screen.
Is it that you are not seeing the screen? Is it not showing? Due to that issue, you cannot see very well. Is okay. So let me read the question number 1, the requirement 1. The requirement 1 says that, please mute your mic, sir. Okay, the requirement 1 says that identify and explain 4 key matters that Adedeji and partner. Who is Adedeji and partner? That is the audit firm, Abi. We should identify and explain 4 key matters that Adedeji and partners should consider when planning the audit of Fine Harvest Food Limited. That is requirement 1. Requirement 2. What are the audit risks associated with loan covenant, and how should the audit team respond? They are telling us that what are the audit risks? The audit risk here, don't you tell you from what you have read that because they said they just acquire new plant in North, and they need bank loan. And one of the requirements for bank loan is to what? To maintain minimum current ratio and profit margin, Abi? Is that not it? The minimum current ratio and profit margin, is that not it? So, but now, what are now the risks? The risk there is that when they are unable to meet up with that requirement, they might probably falsify the financial statement in order to meet the requirement. That's one of the risks. Falsification of figures in the financial statement. I'm trying to provide answer. That one man can go with it. One of the risks there is that in the aspect that if they are unable to meet up with the requirement for that minimum distance, there might be risk for what? Risk of falsification of figures in the financial statement.
Please, is that A or B you're answering now? Requirement A or B?
I've not answered it. You have not asked me anything. No. I'm just telling you what might probably be the answer. We are still coming to the answer. I'm trying to reinterpreting the question for you. Are we following? Are we following, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can't hear you, sir.
Please, are we following? Can I proceed, please?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go to requirement C. Requirement C says that list 3 audit procedures that the team should perform in relation to revaluation of land and building. What are the audit procedures? That is, if you want to audit land and revaluation of land and building, what are the things you are going to check? I mean, the audit check in that report. Don't forget that they said they want to revalue their land and building for the first time in 5 years, and they have engaged a valuer to come and value the land and building. Of course, the valuer will give you land and building valuation report, Abi. So what are the things you are going to check in that valuation report? That's what they're asking. At least 3 that the team should perform in relation to evaluation of land and building. Are we following, everybody? Can I proceed? I'm trying to re-expatiate on the requirements, because the second tip says that you have to understand the requirements too. So if you understand the given scenario, you should be able to be linking your requirements to what you have read in the scenario and thereby make it a whole sense to you. Please, are we following everybody? Can I proceed, please? Okay, and the last one there, the last requirement is what ethical consideration should Adedeji and partner keep in mind regarding the client's desire for an unqualified opinion? They said, what are the ethical considerations? That is, the ethical things that we need to follow when the clients have desire for us to have what to give them unqualified opinion. These are the requirements, and this is where the answer starts. This is where the questions this is all the question, and this is where we need to start answering our question. Please, do we understand from the scenario and the requirements? Do we understand properly? Then by now, everybody, if you are in the exam hall and you are able to understand the scenario very well and the requirements like this, the next thing is to now shift to your tips number 3. Tips number 3 is you must be able to give your link your answer to the given scenario. That everything will be right in here. We are providing the solution in respect to the scenario they give to us. You know, we start answering. Our step 2 will lead to step 3. Then by the time you are now writing your answer, you must be able to make reference to the scenario, which is step number 1. Are we following everybody? Is it going well? Okay. So now, so let's now go to the answer now. Number 1 requirement says that identify and explain 4 key matters that Adedeji and partner should consider when planning the audit of Prime Harvest Food Limited. So let me ask you this question. What are the things that we need to put in mind from your own understanding? Okay, Mr. Adesola, please, you have the floor.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So the first thing that we need to put in mind is that the inventory is not the first, though, but that is where I want to start from. The inventory makes up 40% of the total assets of Prime Harvest Foods Limited. The audit team should be present. They should ensure they are present when they are doing the inventory count, as it is a material item of the financial statements of Prime Harvest Food Limited. The second thing that the auditors should put in mind is that there is a new financial controller of Prime Harvest Food Limited. The old finance controller resigned 2 months ago and did not leave any handover notes. So this new financial controller is prone to make mistakes.
Yes.
Then the third thing I want to mention is this using of experts. They say they're going to use a valuation experts to value something. I've forgotten. So before we depend on the opinion of the expert, we have to assess the objectivity of this expert. We have to look at the commercial fee that is being paid to this expert. We have to look at the relationship with the management of the company. And if this expert has a financial interest in the company, we also have to look at the qualifications of this expert, the professional qualifications. If this expert is even qualified to even give an appropriate opinion on the revaluation of this thing. Then
yes.
I think that's all I will say. Thank you.
Yes, very well said. Even though you agreed that it is not one of the but if you mention they did not specify that. They said explain, identify and explain in your own way, even though the issue is more than 4, but in your own way, they say you should identify. If it is this 4, you can identify and explain like that, but you missed something there. Can I tell you what you missed?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree that you missed something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's hear from another person. Anyone that wants to try?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
What do you say? Yes, I can hear you. What did you?
So,
what is your own take on it?
one of the matter they should consider also, it is their first time they will be auditing that firm. So they need to consider the timing because they have to understand the nature of the business environment. So their timing, they should kind of consider their timing. They should make sure that they give more time. They leave more time in their schedules for them to understand the business so that they will be able to perform all necessary things they are meant to do as an auditor. So they need
Okay.
to consider that as well. So I think for now that's all. In addition to what she has said. Thank you.
Okay. So, uh, okay, who else that want to try?
Well, the
Who else
loan
that want to try?
covenant,
Yes.
the loan covenant also, as you've identified the other time, is that there is high probability or possibility of them falsifying their figures if they are not able to if they are not able to meet the requirement of the profit margin and the current ratio. So the auditor needs to consider this matter as well. So by increasing his level of skepticism, professional skepticism, when he's dealing with any figures that will influence or that will actually improve the profit, or let's say the current profit and the current viability.
Buki, please mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Okay. Mr. Adesua, do you still have anything to add to it?
Yes, sir. I think the first point was that the company's sales or something has grown by 45%. The audit team should carry out
Of it. Yes, yes.
the audit team should carry out an open balance procedure on the financial statement so that they can ensure that that 45% is actually correct and it's not falsified. Hello, sir. Did you hear me?
No, can you hear me? I can hear
Okay.
you. Your
Do
explanation
you hear
was
me,
correct.
sir?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you. Your explanation was wrong, but what you identified was correct. What you identified was correct, but your explanation was wrong. Yes. So we are still coming to that. One of what you should have said that because of they said there's 45 increase in export revenue, they should have checked the concept of IFRS 15 revenue recognition. If they have been translating, they said it is export, meaning that if they export the this thing to UK, they will pay them pounds. It's not pounds they are spending in UK. So now, how are they converting these pounds into Nigeria currency? Are they using the normal rates they're supposed to use to convert? You need to check the accuracy if they are actually following the IFRS 15. If revenue has not been wrongly recognized, and that thing can lead to fraud. Are you following me? You can see that all these things you are saying, it is you that you are saying it. Do you know the reason why you are able to say this? Because you understand what the question is saying perfectly. That is why I took my time as I'm reading the scenario and trying to explanating the scenario paragraph by paragraph. So by the time you get to the requirement, you understand better, and that will also give you better edge for you to write. Are we following everybody? You can see that from what they have said now, you in your mind you'll be confident with yourself that the answer is correct. But do you know what's the lack there? And it is very, very important. You fail to explain this aspect of planning because they said identify and explain 4 key matter that Adedeji and partners should consider when planning the audit. So you are identifying, you want to identify and explain something of the planning. What is that planning itself? Do you now know where I said there's something you are missing there that need to be incorporated in your answer? So if you want to answer, you said this is how to answer a proper preamble that you start maybe 1A. You know, said in order to understand the the key matter that Adedeji and partners should consider in the given scenario, it is very, very important to explain the meaning of audit planning. However, in accordance with ISA 300, because ISA 300 goes with plan. If you remember the ISA that talks about audit planning, you put it. But if you do not remember, just give us the meaning of audit planning. Of course, you know the meaning of audit planning. So, you now said, in order to understand the key matters that Adedeji and partners should consider, it is very, very important to explain the meaning of audit planning. Full stop. You now go to the next paragraph. You now said, however, audit planning can be defined in accordance with ISA 300 as so. After you have given the definition, you now put full stop. Now said, furthermore, the following are the explanation of the key key matters that Adedeji and partners should consider when planning for the audit of what of Time Harvest Limited. You now said number one. So everything that you and Mr. Abiodun now gave us from what you think that is the answer, you now put it down. You just say, oh, you identify just say number one, maybe inventory valuation, you put it, you now explain it in a way that they're supposed to consider it as one of the things they need to consider while they are planning for the audit of the Time Harvest Food Limited. And don't forget, your answer should always be linking to the what to Time Harvest Food Limited. Please, everybody, are we following? Can we proceed, please? We have not gone to the answer. So now let's now go to the answer. Like I said, I used to say, this thing is suggested solution. Suggested solution in the sense that it is not another person. You know what Ms. Adesiwa gave us is different. It's quite different from like one or two things is different from what Mr. Abiodun identified. So far it is four. You need to just brace it up. So we are just going to consider four based on what the question asked us. To consider four. Please, can we proceed, please? You see, this is the proper and standard way to start your question because you are in a professional level. You are one leg to be a chartered accountant. Of course, I know, inshallah, everybody will definitely be chartered. So you should be able to brace yourself that what I'm doing, I'm providing solution to the problem. So in everything I want to do, I must be able to give professional advice. So you cannot start by saying number one. No, let us assume the examiner does not even understand what is audit planning. But by you telling the examiner that in accordance with this standard, if you remember that audit planning can be defined as so. However, after you have defined the audit planning, you now go back to the person that, however, the following are now the four key matters that this person should consider. Then another person can also bring another four based on what he understood from the scenario he read and the requirements. Based on what he understood from the scenario and the requirement, he can also skip another uh, four key matters that need to be considered. Are we following, everybody? Are we following, please? Let me see your emoji. All right. So now, this solution to question number 1A.
We are not hearing anything. Oh. Hello, sir. I'm not hearing you.
Just
You
hold
see
on now. Maybe the
that
network is bad.
Yeah. So we can't hear him as well.
now.
So you're not
I'm
the
back
only one.
now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Is it okay now? Can I proceed? Okay, so
We can't hear you again, sir.
I can insert my mic. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so where are we? I said it is very important to define, to give them the meaning of ISA 300, which is audit planning. The reason why you are doing this is that you are trying to create a very comprehensive answer to the examiner. The examiner does not even understand what audit plan is all about. So it is important for you to give the examiner the meaning of audit planning in your understanding. Can we proceed now? So see proper preamble that I used to, and this thing has helped me. I know this thing since my undergraduate year that any answer that you want to provide, make a proper suitable preamble that will link your that will link it to your answer. So this is what I just did here. I said to understand the question under review proper, it is important to define the meaning of audit planning in accordance with ISA 300. So what is audit planning? Audit planning can be defined in accordance with ISA 300 as process of developing a detailed plan conducting an audit. It involves understanding the entity business, identifying risks associated with client business, determining the materiality and developing an audit strategy to be adopted to enable the auditor to express correct opinion on the financial statement. Is this not audit planning? Hello, everybody. Is
Yes, it is.
this
Yes,
not
it
audit
is.
planning? Are we not making sense like this? Yes. So haven't you understand? So haven't you understand this thing and you put your answer like this? See, your mind something will tell you your mind, something will be switching your mind that this question, I can answer this. Because like it will be like source of joy for you. And before you know, you start writing. Now, after you now said, you now go back to the question they asked you that. However, the following are the four key matters that Adedeji and partners should consider when planning for audit of Prime Harvest Foods Limited. Identify some you need to know. And Mr. Deswa told us that they need to convert all the figures, whether it's the balance they brought forward is the same thing as the closing balance from last year. You know, one of the business to opening balance comparative is one of the audit strategies that we need to adopt. When we are talking about the financial statement approach under chapter 6, we talk about financial statement approach. And that financial statement approach is telling us that we need to consider to make sure that the closing balance of previous year is the same thing as opening balance of this what current year to ensure accuracy. So one of the four things that me I believe that we need to consider, one is first year audit consideration. And what are the, so your explanation is since it is first year audit for Adedeji and partner in auditing Prime Harvest Food Limited, comma, the audit firm must understand the business environment and their system operations. Is it not making sense like this, everybody? And you can see that this first one that you just explained goes along with your definition of what of audit planning. Since it is first year audit for Adedeji and partner in auditing Prime Harvest Foods Limited, the auditor must understand the business environment and their system operation. You can read it like that there. If you understand, if you just conscious of time, or you can say review of opening balance. That's why I make it 3 like this, so that any of this explanation can go. 2, review of opening balance brought forward to ascertain the correctness and accuracy of the balance brought forward. And 3, request for prior year financial statements to ascertain the correctness of figures reported. Please, this one now, you have explained one of the matter the sense you identify. Please, can I proceed, please? Can I proceed, please? All right. 2, significant growth in exporting. They said we should identify and explain. Significant growth in export sales. You know, Ms. Adesu, I mentioned this before. She said it, but her explanation was wrong. That was why I corrected that. The explanation was wrong, but what she identified was correct. So, since it is 45% increase in sales, 45% export sales may indicate risk of revenue recognition. Is that what I said? Error or fraud. Thus, the auditor must review control over internal sales, documentation, and foreign currency translation. That is, what makes the export sales to increase by 45%? It might due to foreign currency conversion rate, or probably they do not understand the revenue recognition in accordance with IFRS 15. So you auditor need to check the sales documentation, the foreign currency translation of the international sales to make sure whether the 40% increase in sales is actually correct or not. Are we not making progress, everybody? Are we not making progress? Okay. Can I proceed, please? Please, are we understanding this thing very well? Is it going well with us? Okay. Number 3. Inventory system and valuation. Inventory system and valuation. We also identified that and we want to explain. So, inventory is the material balance and historical. And they said, don't forget that one of the things they raised that and they said the company has been using in-house inventory valuation, and that the inventory valuation has issue. And the issue that the team has is that it failed to update the stock records in a remote location. Abi, do we remember that? So it's one of the things that it's actually different from what either Mr. Abiodun or Mr. Adesu highlighted. So all those things they highlighted, you can see some here, and we can see some as addition. So in this question, you can see about 6 to 7 matters that you can identify and explain by yourself. But we'll limit our distance to our question, which says 4. So now, inventory is a material balance and historical. They said historically had an issue. So attendance at the end year inventory count is necessary to verify the existence and assets control. Mr. Adesu also mentioned this part, that it's important for auditor to be there to verify the existence and assets control, to verify whether the assets actually exist, and also ensure that they counted or the inventory was counted accurately, and also have access control to all those inventory. Do we understand? Are we following? Number 4, new finance controller. Don't forget, in the point is a note. So you know that all this now, you are trying to bring an answer from from what they noted in the meeting they had. And now they said new finance controller. Don't forget, in that point they noted, they said a new finance controller just assumed 2 months ago. whereby the old one resigned and without any handover note. One of the things that auditors supposed to consider is that this new finance controller may lack of what knowledge about the work he's doing, because nobody didn't nobody preempt him on the situation on ground, what the company has been doing, where they stop, where the situation stop and where it's supposed to start from. Nobody giving any hint on it. So the recent change in the finance controller might increase the risk of error or poor quality financial reporting due to lack of what? Lack of continuity and knowledge. With this, you have substantially answer 1A, which is 8 marks. So in your mind, you'll be telling yourself that for all this that answered, I've written, and they said it's 8 marks, they should give me at least 6. Even though they don't want to give me everything, they should give me at least 6. You are trying to assume your own, you are trying to give yourself confidence that I know I've done justice to this. Because in all this thing I'm doing, all the tips that I gave us have been incorporated in this answer. 1, I understand the given scenario. 2, I understand the requirement. And my answer, which is tips number 3, I'm providing this answer in accordance with the given scenario. Everything that you mentioned there, you are trying to report to what has happened. That is, you are going to give the matter that all Adedeji and partners consider in planning for audit of Prime Harvest Limited. You have already make reference to it in your preamble. This is it here. You have already made reference to it in your preamble. Yes. Can you see it here? Let me color this place. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so you have link your answer to
Can anybody hear you? Mr. Idris? Hello?
No.
Thank you.
I'm not hearing anything. Oh. Have the lecture ended?
It's probably network. Let's wait small.
Please, can you hear me? I'm trying to share my screen again, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to see so that I can. I don't know what's wrong. The network just logged me out.
Hello, sorry, is the class still on? I don't know, I can't hear anything.
The call is still on. I think it's trying to. Sorry.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm back now, but I don't know. I've been trying to share my screen. The file that I opened is not showing here again. Be the issue here. I'm sorry about this. And the file is open.
Maybe you should drop and rejoin back.
That is what I just did now. That is what I did.
So it's network. You know, I'm having the same issue as this kid also. It's actually logging me out and in for quite some time.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that delay. I think it is network. Thank you, Mr. Abiodun, for telling me that. I will just be there battling with. Okay, please. Where are we? I'm sure we are done with requirement one. Please, are we on the same page? Can you hear me, please, everybody? Please respond. Okay. So now I'm sure we have substantially explained that number 1A and giving our best. So what I was trying to say, I don't know whether you hear me that time, that by answering that, something will be telling you, like you'll be feeling joy in your mind that this question number 1A, I'm able to answer it like this. You know, it is 8 mark. Something will be telling you that at least, even if they don't want to give me my full mark, they should give me 6. Something will be telling you like that. But if you have that confidence, that will boost your morale to start writing more, and thereby that is the energy you just need. And before you know, you are good to go in this question number 1. Please, are we following, please, everybody? Are we following, please? Can I proceed? Okay, so now let's check question number 2. What does question number 2 say? Question number 2. What does it say? 2 now tell us that what are the audit risks associated with loan covenants, and how should the audit team respond? So who can tell us from the scenario that we read? You know that they said this one goes without asking. Remember, they said the company wants to acquire new plant in northern Nigeria, and they need bank loan for it to get that plant. And one of the loan requirements is to maintain minimum of what? Of current ratio and profit margin. They now say that What are the audit risks associated with that loan covenant? And how should the audit team respond? Who can tell me? Okay, Mr. Abedon, let's hear you.
Thank you, sir. As I've said earlier, one of the um one of the risks that's associated to it is the going concern problem, because if let's assume that the firm meet up with the loan covenant now, and they eventually get the loan to purchase the assets. So on the long run, they later make loss, or they were not able to pay this loan, it will cause going concern problem for the company. So, and invariably the company might not be able to continue operating in the next foreseeable future, I guess. So they might have a going concern.
And your explanation, this is another one. Your explanation is correct, but that heading you identify was wrong with that explanation. Do you know what? Because you cannot put risk of how do you say it now? Going concern. No, that one is wrong, but your explanation makes sense. It means that you give proper explanation for a wrong heading. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I
Now,
understand. I now I'm going to.
let's think critically now. If they fail to meet up with the loan covenant, they say what are the risks associated? One of the risks I've mentioned is because of falsification of figures.
Can we call it credit risk?
No, risk of falsification of figures. Risk of what? Falsification of figures. Because if they did not meet up with the loan covenant, they can actually falsify the figures in the financial statements to make sure that they meet up with that what loan covenant. Is that not one of the risks that they said you should identify? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So as you identify the risk like that, you provide solution to the risk. As you have identified the risk like that, you provide solution to it. Which other person? Which other person? Who else? Oh yeah, who else
Can I
now?
speak?
Please go on.
I don't know. I want to talk about independence risk. Yes, independence risk. I feel that the auditor will not be able to give an independent report, given that he's been told that he should present
Sorry,
a
I
good
don't know if
report.
it's my
That was
network, but I'm not hearing. Ah. Sorry, can anybody hear me?
We can hear you. Go on. Go on now. We can hear you. Olashade, go on. We can hear you. Okay. So let us see. One of the risks. I've mentioned one is risk. One of the risks is risk of what? Of falsification of figures in the financial statement. So then here they ask us two questions. They say what are the audit risks associated with that loan covenant, and how can the audit team respond to it? How can the audit team respond to it? Falashade, please mute your mic if you don't want to say anything again, so that you not disturb others. Okay. So, Mr. Abel, do you still want to say something? Okay. One of the risks, again, that I can even see here is risk of misstatement, which is what I said now. Risk of misstatement, they can manipulate it to make sure that they meet up with the loan requirement. Is risk of material misstatements. What about risk of non-compliance? If they fail, that is why I told Mr. Abiodun that the explanation was correct, but the heading was wrong. You should have put risk of non-compliance, that is, failure to meet up with the target will lead to what? Risk of non-compliance. Mr. Abiodun, are we following this? I'm not, do we understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the things that we need to check very well. Because the question asked us that, so your interpretation should be, what is the risk? They said risk associated, means that they want to collect loan. And if they did not meet up with this loan requirement, what are the risks? They can think of falsify the figures in the financial statement to meet the requirement, and that's one risk. What if they collect the DC and they did not meet up with the minimum current ratio? It means that they cannot be able to pay the DC now. That's another risk. There's a lot of risk that you just risk of overstatement. If they overstate their financial statement to meet up with the target, there's another risk. So all these things, you should be able to think wide and see, oh, this is 5 marks. I should be able to say one or two things to get my answer and move on. Please, can we proceed now? Can we proceed, please? All right. So let us move to the answer and see what we have there. So let's see. Can you see the preamble? Can you see the preamble? Let us go. They said, number 1B, the risk associated with loan covenant and the auditing response are as follows. 1, you create a table. You know, they ask us that what is the audit risk and how the audit team will respond. That is what they ask us. So now, one of the risks is risk of non-compliance. To maintain required current ratio and profit margin result in loan default. That is, and profit margin. It will lead to loan default. That is the audit risk. And how will the audit team respond? That is, to verify the company compliance with loan covenant requirements. That is, you verify whether the company actually meets up with that loan requirements or not. That is what audit team is going to do to respond to that audit risk. Please, are we following? Are we tired? The energy is not flowing like the way we started in the morning.
We are following. We don't want to distract the class. No, we don't want to distract your class. We are following.
Okay. So risk number 2 is risk of misstatement. What I said, that management may manipulate financial statement to meet covenant loan. Yes, that is risk of misstatement. So what the auditing is going to do? First of all, assessing the financial reporting disclosure of the loan covenant and its impact on the financial statement. Assess the financial reporting disclosure of the covenant if they also meet with the requirement and the impact of that on the financial statement. You can also review the loan. Any of these things can be the response you put. Review loan agreement for covenant terms if they meet up with the requirement. Or 3, perform an analytical procedure to assess whether the covenant threshold are met or not. So these are among others. You know, that one is just 5 questions. 5 marks. It says we should identify the risk and what auditing is going to do. So what you did now, as you identify the risk, you provide response to tackle the risk that you have identified. So that's why they said the audit risk associated with loan covenant and the auditing response are following. Risk number 1 that you have identified is risk of non-compliance. That is, what of the failure to maintain the required current ratio and profit margin as one of the things they noted in the scenario, if you remember. So, and how do we respond? Is to verify whether the company is in compliance with the loan requirements. That is a response to that number that you have identified. Number 2, risk of the statement. That is, management can manipulate the financial statement to meet the loan requirements. So one of the things audit response to do is to review the loan requirements or loan agreements for covenant loan that are terms, whether they meet up. 2, you can also perform an analytical procedure to assess whether the covenant threshold are met or not. 3, you can also assess the financial statement and disclosure of the covenant loan and its impact on the financial statement. These are among others the audit risk and the audit response in accordance with that requirement 2, which is 5 marks. Everybody, please. As you are writing like this, something you'll be grading yourself that if they said this one is 5 marks, it should be at least okay. If you are a Yoruba person, at least they should give me 3 out of 5. You've already, so they said one was 5 marks, 8 marks. You said they should give you 6. You write that at least you are both of yourself that they should be able to give you 6. And this one is what? Is how many? Is 3. You said they should be able to give you 3 out of 5. Then out of 13 mark question, you have already given yourself how many marks? 9. That is 9 is okay. Like this, out of 13 mark question, they should be able to give me 9. 9 out of 13, which you have answered to of the whole total question out of 13 marks. These are who's following. This is proper time management. As I'm trying to provide answer, I'm also trying to teach us how to be conscious of our time in the exam, which is very, very important. Everybody, please. Can we proceed, please? Can we proceed, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let us go to question number. What does C told us? List 3 audit procedure that the king should perform in relation to revaluation of land and building. What are the audit procedure that the auditor will put in place in revaluation of land and building? They are just telling us that what are the audit check that we check in the valuation of land and building? What are the audit check? Oh yeah, I'm listening. Oh yeah, I'm listening. What can help us? What do you understand by this? List 3 audit procedure the king should perform in relation to revaluation of land and building.
Maybe the depreciation, the impairments, don't know.
One of it is to recalculate depreciation. Don't forget. See, what is you provide answer in accordance to the scenario. Don't forget, they said the company wants to revalue their asset for the first time in 5 years, Abby, and valuer and what has been evaluation person has been engaged, Abby. Definitely the person is going to give you a report. Madam Adesola, don't forget. You mentioned that one of the things you itemized in that one A, you said that valuation report, they should check the independency of the valuer, whether the person is skilled enough to handle the work. Do you remember you said that? It's one of the procedures you need to follow too. It's one of the procedures you need to follow. You need to follow you need to review the valuation report. First of all, you review the valuation report. You obtain you collect the valuation report and you review it. Abi, it's one of the things. You assess the independence of the valuer, whether the person is even qualified to do the work. It's one of the things you check. You calculate depreciation. All these things will be in the valuation report. You also calculate whether this thing is correct. These are among others the things that auditor will put in place, the procedure to perform in relation to valuation of land and building. You can see that this one is, you cannot even tell them that they should at least give you 2. They should give you all 3 marks here because you have answered them. What they ask you to do, you have done it. Please, I want us to understand this chapter very well. It is very, very simple for us to understand. Once we understand it, it will go a long way for us. That's why I say you must be able to understand the scenario very well. Read the question thoroughly. There lies your answer. If you understand the scenario very well, it will be like open mind for you to know what to write. Do you understand what I'm saying? Please, can I proceed, please? All right. So now, let's now go to the answer and let's see. That's why I'm going to the question to ask us first before we answer to the what? To the answer. So let's see. And in any answer you are providing, please preamble is also very, very important. Your preamble will give you nothing less than a good mark. See this preamble here. Said, was the three audit procedure that the team should perform. You know the question they ask us that list three audit procedure that the team should perform in relation to evaluation of land and building. Your response will now be the three. They said list. Then you now want to answer. You are not providing a proper preamble that the three audit procedure the team should perform in relation to what evaluation of land and building are as follows. One, obtain and review valuation reports. Obtain and what review valuation report. So what is the explanation there? Review the valuation report to ensure it is properly documented and supported. Why are you reviewing the valuation report? To make sure that everything they did inside is correct and the document they use to support their evidence is okay. That is why you want to obtain and review the what? The valuation report. Please, can I proceed, please, everybody? Are we following? Hello. Please, just your emoji is okay, so that I will know that we are together, so that we can proceed. All right. Let's go. One, two. Assess the independence and competence of the expert. Experts that will give us the distance. We have to assess his independence and the competence of the. I hope this person that they engage. I hope the management has not influenced the person to just bring out any report he or she like, or he should produce the report in their own way, the way they like it. No, you have to assess the independence. Is the person independent from the what? From the people that are giving the engagement? I hope they cannot influence his decision. You need to check that and also check the competence of the what of the expert. If the expert is skilled enough, if you have have the required competency to provide the report, you also need to check that. Number three, review the valuation report. You verify the credential and expert of the valuation and expertise of the valuation expert. You review the valuation to verify the credential whether it is correct, and also to expertise the valuation of the expert, that is to review the valuation report. The last one, you calculate depreciation in accordance with IAS 16. The depreciation they put in the valuation report, you also recalculate to make sure whether the depreciation they reported is okay. These are among others that the auditor they are still it's still it goes beyond this thing. You also check whether the carrying amount is the same thing as, and you compare the carrying amount from when they bought the land and the carrying amount as at now and the value amount now. You compare the carrying amount the first time and the value amount now, whether the land has appreciated or not. It's among other things that the procedure that the auditing should put in place in relation to evaluation of land and building. But these are among others what the procedure the auditing should put in place in relation to the evaluation of land and building. Do we understand, everybody? Please, can we proceed? Can we proceed, please? Please, are we following? Okay, so let us go to 1D and see the question again. Okay, what is attending the inventory count important, and what procedure should audit perform during the count? They said, don't forget that they said they want to do the inventory count on 31st December 20th, and they want the audit team to be there. The question is now that why is it important for us to attend the inventory count, and what procedure do we perform during the inventory count? So I want to ask you that question. Who can help us out? Grace, you should be able to say this. Grace, please, let's hear you. I'm calling Grace direct. Chidema, you talk. Grace, please. What do you have to say about this? Grace, I'm listening to you. Where is Grace now? Has she suddenly disappeared? Grace. Ah. Don't worry. Okay, Grace says she cannot talk where she. Okay, so let's hear Chidema. Chidema, please, you have the floor.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So I just want to try. So I think it's important for the audit, for people in the audit team to be present for the inventory count, because it helps them to see the inventory, because it's not just what was imputed in the financial statement. They are there to verify that what is in financial statements correlates with what they have on ground. So that's what I think. Yes.
Though, if you check this question very well, you will see indirectly that this question wants to be like this one B. Because they actually ask us two questions in this. They say, why is it important to attend inventory count? So that importance, you can just state it in one sentence like that. It is important to attend inventory count to ascertain the existence and so of this. That is one. You now said, however, the auditing, however, the procedure that the auditor should perform during the count, what the auditor should now do. The auditor should first of all, they have to make sure that they observe the counting to make sure that they are not counting anyhow. Two, to also test the event to be accounting. If they have the different type of stock, maybe they have cream, they have men cream, lotion cream. You know, they give you bank card. Bank card is a paper that shows the list of all the items and the quantity they have sold. So when you have observed the counting process to make sure that they are counting what they're supposed to count, then another one, you should also perform test counting. Test counting is in the sense that if you are counting men's cream like this, for example, and the bank card is showing 10, it means that on the in the stock, that inventory should be 10 for that men listing also. So as they are counting, you'll be counting with them that they should not be counting ladies cream in place of men's cream. If they are counting men's cream, for example, you should ensure that it is men cream they are counting. If it is ladies cream they are counting, you should ensure that they are counting ladies cream. Not that it is ladies cream that they want to count on the bank card and they are counting men's cream. So this is one of the procedure that the auditor should perform during the count. You have stated the importance that it is important for the auditor to be there to ensure existence and condition of that stock, to ensure that the stock actually exists and the condition, whether the stock is not even bad or is out of shape. So you need to consider all those that, and that is the importance of you be there. Then what are the procedures you now going to follow? First of all, you need to ensure that you observe the counting very well to ensure accuracy. And these are among other things. Yeah, you observe counting process. So in this question, they're actually asking us two in one. Which one to go in line with this 1B that we answered before? Please, do we understand what I'm trying to say here? Hello, Grace is actually typing. Grace is actually typing the procedure that need to be observed by the auditor. Because I know that's why I asked her first. So, but among others, so Chidima, I hope you take note of what we are saying, although we are still going to the solution, so that please, everybody, are we following, please? You know that we spent 2 hours plus when we started before now. We spent 2 hours plus on this question. In the exam, it's about 30 minutes or thereabout used to answer all these questions. So you need to be fast and you need to think before you start writing. And as you're writing, don't write nonsense. And as you're writing, always make your answer to the given scenario. And as you're writing, always be time conscious. These are we following, everybody. Okay, so let us go. Let's see the solution. Okay, what we have there. 1D. Now, so your preamble, like I said, preamble is very, very important. Is very, very important. So let us see. The inventory count attendance important, including what procedure the auditor should perform during the count as a result of the following. One, you now put your table important or procedure, and the exam you don't want to put table, you can write the important first, then the next paragraph you name it as procedure, then you also bring the procedure, meaning that you have analyzed the important and the procedure. But in another sense, you can put table important on this side, procedure on this side, so that everything will be okay. So let's see the important. Please confirm if you can hear me very well, please. All right, let's see the important. Inventory is, don't forget, in the scenario, they said the inventory is important aspect because it takes 40% of their total asset. Do you remember? Do we remember in the scenario that they said the inventory takes 40% of their total asset? So now you want to write. You now said inventory is material asset. Of course, it is material because out of all the assets they have, one of the assets is PPE. PPE might be plant and land and building, function and fittings. Those are not only assets. We also have receivables. We have cash and cash. We have trade payables, and we have inventory. And they said out of all these 6 or 7 assets that we have listed, inventory only take 40%. That is, the other 6 will now be the other 6 take 60%, but only inventory take 40%, which make it to be material, right? If you are in accordance with the scenario, they said the inventory take 40% of the total asset. So you now want to write. So you are writing in accordance with that 40%, how important it is. So in answer, inventory is a material item, and attendance is an attendance helps to verify the existence and condition of stock, and also evaluate the effectiveness of management's counting process. That is why you are there. They are telling you the importance of you as an auditor to be present while they are counting the inventory. Do we understand that? Does it go well with us? Can we proceed? Hello? Okay. So now, look at the procedure now. 1. The procedure the auditors need to do is 1. We observe the counting process and ensure the procedure are followed. So this also give us some procedure that auditors should follow. So we also read that down and see and add to what we have here. 2. Perform the test count and trace to inventory sheet. Inventory sheet is the bin card they give you. During counting process, there will be bin card or inventory sheet, depend on what the company do. But bin card is mostly used. Bin card is a sheet, is a report that will, if they have 100 variety of stock, the bin card will have all the stock, the 100 varieties. It will be on the bin card. Then the quantity sold will be there. Then the quantity that should be in the stock will also be on the bin card. So as you are counting, meaning that what will be on the bin card. Okay, now so see how bin card is all about. The bin card will show the items of the inventory. It will show the total quantity. If when they brought the inventory, maybe for men's cream now, they brought 100. The whole 100 will be on the bin card. How many are they sold? They sold 50. So we are expecting that during counting, you must be able to see 50 in the store. So bin card will show you the amount that sold, the amount that enter, and the amount that should remain after what? After the stock has been sold. Okay, so now, are we following, please, everybody? Are we following? Are we following, please? Can I proceed? Hello? Okay. So now I said perform test count and trace to inventory sheet. That is where I explain about Binker just now. Another one, verify any obsolete or damaged stock. Verify if any obsolete or damaged stock is properly recorded. That is, out of the one that they say it will be in the stock, maybe 20 has already damaged, or maybe 20 has already expired. But both expired and the good one must be able to give you 50 as they reported in the what in the bin card. So you will now be able to now count that, oh, the total goods is 50, but out of this 50, 10 or 15 are what have expired, 5 is damaged. So the now says verify any obsolete. Obsolete is expired or damaged stock properly recorded. Verify if all those things are what are properly what recorded. Last one, ensure all locations are covered if stock is held in multiple warehouses. Ensure that they cover all the what location if stock are kept in what in multiple warehouses. So that is among the procedure. Let's all read what Grace also puts for us and see. Grace also put that you observe the counting, just like what we said, yes. We observe the counting. You test count sample, yes. Grace only gave us 2. Okay. I was thinking to give us more than that. Okay. Yes. Third, confirm the inventory existence, yes. Match the inventory to the register, which is the bank card. Check for physical damage, obsolete or yes, and reconciliation. Exactly what Grace told us. Exactly what we have analyzed before. The same thing that Grace has already itemized for us. So thank you, Grace. So this is answer to question 1D, and this one is 7 mark. So something should be telling you that at least give you at least 7 or 8 marks. They should be able to give you 6 to 5 marks in this kind of water. So please, everybody. Hello, can I proceed, please? Hello. Yes, now your emoji is okay, so that I know that I'm communicating. Okay, now, so let us quickly go to the question number 1E, which is 1E, and that's where we are going to stop for today, because we already spent 2 hours plus, like 2 hours, 30 minutes plus now. Although that's not where we are going to stay today, but for the revision class. So 1D, 1E. What ethical consideration should Adedeji and partner keep in mind regarding the client's desire for unqualified opinion? So, what are the ethical considerations that we need to keep in mind regarding the client's desire for unqualified opinion? Who can tell? Okay, Sharon, please go on.
I think customer should be, the auditor should be worried about his independence, and to also be sure that first, let me just talk about that first. Auditor's independence. He should be worried about his independence to be sure that they won't force him to do the wrong thing.
I agree with you.
So to be sure that they won't force him. They won't
be independent on you.
Independence and professionalism.
Yes, but you're supposed to put objectivity and independence. That is, auditor should remain objective about his objectivity and independence. You know, when you object something, meaning that someone cannot control you, it means that you are independent in that way. Don't forget that one of the ethical principles is objectivity. Objectivity is that you should not be biased. You should state the thing the way you see it. Abi, is that not objectivity? So, Sharon, thank you, ma'am. You said, okay, I will help you to shape on it. You only mentioned independent, but I will say objectivity and independent. And the outcome influenced by what? By the management of the company. Yes, thank you, madam. Sharon. Any other person? How many ethical this thing can we see here? Oh yeah, let's see another thing. Any other person? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So in terms of that, I think professional competence and due care should come in also, because
Professional
the
competence and
auditor,
due
they
care.
are responsible to the users of the financial statements. So did they have the expertise to kind of complete their work also within the given time frame? And also, they should put into consideration whenever they are making decision. They shouldn't look at what the management is expecting from them, but they should be, just like as you've said, is more related to objectivity. But in terms of their professional competency, they should make sure that they apply all the required skills, follow the necessary standards to get the work done. I don't know. I think I mean.
Yes, thank you. Who just respond? Is it Mr. Abi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Abi, thank you. So who else? Mr. Desua, do you want to try? Chiamaka? Yes, great. Professional skills and due care. Yes, that's what Mr. Abiodun just said now. But there's still more. There are some important things that we are missing out. If you understand the scenario very well, you see that there are two important things that we've not mentioned. Well, Ms. Sharon, Madam Sharon has helped us with independence, so I help her to shape me to independence and objectivity, which is one of the important things. Another one.
Another one, integrity. Auditors should maintain their
Integrity.
integrity.
Yes, but you see, all this thing, I know you know it, but you don't put it very well. Audit opinion, you should have put opinion integrity. Yes. Do you know that I used to say that most of these ethical codes that are most of these questions, they might not go directly with what we know in the chapter review. You should try to add it to the scenario. Integrity is correct, but you are not adding that integrity to what? To the scenario. It should have been audit opinion integrity. Do you understand what I'm saying, Madam Sharon? That is why I put
very well.
Objectivity and independence that time. You should have put yes, integrity is correct, but you should have put audit opinion integrity. Why do you put audit opinion integrity? It means that anything you see, you have to, your opinion must remain the same thing. Nobody can influence you. Yes. Madam Sharon, are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Very well. Thank you.
Okay. So who else can try? Who else? Chiamaka, do you want to try? Madam Dorothy, you posted something before I come. Okay. Not really in that aspect. I want who else? Okay, in order not to waste our time. One of the distinct is professional skepticism. You did not ask me why. It's also ethical consideration because the management said they want their report to be unqualified. So what is professional skepticism? Is you having a questioning mind that why did you say we should give you unqualified audit opinion? You need to ask more questions. Yes, we need to ask more questions because it posts professional skepticism now. Why do you say we should give you unqualified opinion? So the ethical consideration we need to consider here is the professional skepticism. Do you understand? I'm not sure. Is everybody listening to me? Are we getting me at all?
Yes, sir.
One of the things we need to check is professional skepticism. Why do you say we should give you unqualified opinion? So meaning that there's something more to it, and we need to find out. And going back to professional skepticism is what? Having questioning mind. You question them more. You do analytical procedure, analytical review to get to the root of the matter why they say they want unqualified audit opinion. Despite all these issue that we have identified that they said they have, and you see what unqualified audit opinion. Is it possible? And then even though you need to ask why, that professional step to it. Out of transparency. Transparency is also ethical consideration. Why? Why? Yes, that is where Mrs. Adesua is not correct. The reason I said I will not take it that time was because it's not actually most important part. Transparency is also correct because any sort of professional independence or due pleasure should be documented. They need to say it because they are threatening them. It is threat to professional independence under transparency because the auditor want to be transparent, but the manager said they want to qualify audit opinion. So you need to document it. If it is going to lead to any threat to professional independence, you document it. Please, everybody, I will follow you, please. I will follow you, please. So let us see what we have in our answer. Okay, let's see. Now, the ethical consideration, don't forget that the question asks that what are the ethical considerations? So your preamble will now be that the ethical consideration that should be kept in mind regarding the client desire for an unqualified opinion by Adedeji and partner tips are as follows. What they're supposed to keep in mind are as follows. One, objectivity and independence. Objectivity and what? And independence means that the code of ethics, the auditor must maintain what? Objectivity and avoid being what? Influenced by the client's what? Expectation. Madam Sharon, do you understand now? Is it going well? Madam Sharon, do you understand now where I said it should be objectivity and independence? Hello? Is everybody hearing me, please? Okay. All right. So, 2, professional skepticism. The team should maintain a questioning mindset and not assume that the desire for an unqualified opinion equates claims record. It means that the auditing should maintain a questioning mind. And not assume that desire for unqualified opinion equates what claim record. Can we proceed? What about the third one? Audit opinion integrity. That is, if material misstatement exists, the firm must modify the opinion regardless the pressure from from the client. At least that's one of the audit opinion integrity. That is, if what is the criteria to modify any opinion? Who can tell me from chapter 14? What are the criteria to modify audit opinion?
Number one. Okay. Can I go
on, sir.
Mr. Olatunji, please go on.
Okay. Number one.
Mr. Olatunji, go on, sir. Yes.
Yes. The material misstatements.
If there is material misstatement and what?
And there is a
limitation of scope.
Limitation of scope.
Limitation of scope. That should be 2 conditions that can make you to modify opinion. So the now said, if material misstatement exists, then the firm must modify the opinion regardless the pressure from the client. So lastly, transparency, what I said, at least any threat to independence or undue pressure should be documented and reported internally as part of ethical safeguard. This, among others, are what you're supposed to do. And you can see substantially that you are able, something will be telling you, if you are able to answer your question like this, in your mind, something will be telling you that at least they should be able to give me 20 to 22 marks out of this. So if you get 20 out of, you are going to, the part is 50. And in one question, you are able to get 20 marks. It means that you are looking for 30 marks. There is no how you not get 30 marks in the rest of question. It means that, so the energy that you use to start, that is why I said don't start with the question that you are not too sure of. That is why I don't advise us to start with question number one. Start, you will have used your head eye to scan through all the whole 7 questions. Start with the one that you know that you can answer best. That will boost your morale. And in everything you want to do, these 4 tips is very, very important. Number one, you must be able to understand your given scenario. Our ability to say something, all those things, all those are contributions in money, Mr. Olatunji, Mr. Abe, Ms. Sharon, Chiamaka, everybody that contributed this money. It's because of our understanding of the scenario. That was why we are able to contribute, to say something meaningful. Then, tips number 2, always understand your requirement, which is very, very important. If you understand one, it will open your mind to the next step, which is to understand the requirement. Then number 3 is very, very important. Link your answer to the given scenario. You can see that from the beginning of this answer, we have substantially identified and link our answer to the scenario. That is why I follow this part. That is why I color this part. Yeah, that is why I color this part yellow. That is, we have substantial. To anybody that is reading through our answer, we know that we have make our answer to the scenario, meaning that everything we are saying, we are provided the answer in accordance with the scenario given to us. And a proper preamble will also go in with that your tips number 3. While the last tips is what is proper what time management. So if you do this on a regular interval for every exam, being advanced audit and assurance, and any other courses, the rest assured, inshallah, you are going to pass. So this is where we are going to stop for today. Like I said, because of this private class, and since we are done with our normal class before the revision will start, probably we'll have a meeting today on how to conduct the revision class. So probably we'll start this week, the next week or upper week. Please, I want to ask, and for those of us that have listened this question before, the advanced audit and assurance before, or for those of us that for those of us that have listened the paper, for those of us that just want to write for the first time, but we are trying to read, or we open the past question, we don't see understand. What have you learned this morning from this class? You can tell us maybe your observation or your what you think that you see that you lack in your previous reading, and what what this class has shaken you to be in this morning. So let's hear from Ms. Sharon first. I think Mrs. Sharon.
First of all,
Madam
I
Sharon,
was
please,
just, I was not relating. Can you hear me, please? First of all,
yeah,
I just
go
found out
on,
that
go
I
on.
was not relating the question. I was not relating. I was not relating my responses to the question. I would just take a question and start answering without even relating it to what is going on. Me, I will be thinking, okay, I've written what I know, but it's not. It's at variance with what they have asked. So that's one major thing for me I have learned.
Yes, can you see?
Thank you.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you for that. So, yeah, Chidima.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, what she said is very correct, because anytime I like want to answer my question, I don't interpret the question properly. At the end of the day, I end up maybe putting another answer for a
Not
question.
writing enough.
Yes,
Exactly.
and also
But
linking.
do you also remember that not writing enough can also make you fail? Maybe you are putting it proper, but you are not writing
Yeah.
enough to give
Okay.
it to that
Yeah.
fired man.
Yes, and also interpreting the question. So the question might just like this one. Well, I think 1B and 1D. They are 2 in 1 question. So they're just giving. I can list 5 points, and I'm still not driving on the right answer.
Exactly.
So that's another thing. Also,
Exactly.
interpreting the question and linking it to your answer. Because anytime I want to answer, I just like the part, because I always like read the study packs. I just give the just generic answers. I don't link it to the question, and that's very important. So I learned that today, and I start with section C and do my number 1 last, and that time management thing is fine. But these are like some of the key things that I did not do last diets that I would incorporate this diet. Thank you, sir.
All right. That's a very valid point. Okay, Mr. Abiodun. Mr.
Thank you.
Abiodun.
Thank you very much, sir. Actually, I got 15 in my last diet exam. Despite answering 5 questions, I was like, wow, what happened? I was very certain, like,
You
but
must have
already
spotted your mistake now.
exactly because I could remember then I find it very hard to kind of link what I've read with what I know because I think our question 2 was on audit risks, our question 1 was on modified audit report, and I was not too happy because I answered it and I know it, but I was like, what's wrong? And I realized that the linking part is one. Secondly, is that I focus more on what I know, all those abstract aspects, threats, kinikon, then just the major ethical requirement, ethical consideration, the likes of professional competence and some other things like that, not considering things that I can actually introduce that will complement anything I have to say. So the linking part is
Hmm.
very, very
That's
much
that's where your observation is yes, yes.
preamble. The
Is
preamble, I
crucial,
realize
yeah.
much. Then you kind of being familiar with all those ISA standard also. So it's a leverage. So thank you very much for your time.
Yes. No problem, sir. So, you, Mrs. Buki or Buketi, I don't even know what to call you, but in which case, your hand is up. So, let's hear you, madam. Okay, she's not
Okay,
there.
good morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
good
morning,
morning.
madam.
Yeah, thank you so much. I
Good morning,
actually
madam.
learned a lot just for this for sale section because actually all what they have said is the same thing I was doing. The one mamopo answer, like the way you said, integrity, auditors, integrity. I'll just put integrity. I have even a code for it. POPSI, professional due care. They provide all these ones. I'll just put it down like that. Thank God I got what they needed. Not relating it directly. I'm putting in the form they wanted. So now I've learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, Madam Margaret, my show, Madam Margaret, you have the floor.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good
Hello?
morning, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
I've
hear
written,
you. Please go
I
on.
will always say that I've written audit and assurance. This is the 4th diet I'm writing audit and assurance, advanced audit and assurance.
You will not write
And
again after this diet. I assure you that, inshallah, you will not write again.
So one of the mistakes I have been making and I've picked from is number 1, I do not have an in-depth understanding of each of the chapters like I do now. I do not have understanding of each of the chapters. And then
Yes, the scenario, if you understand the scenario very well, it means that you already understand 50, you already get 50% mark for that question. Understanding of the scenario is just in your mind, you will mean that if you understand the scenario very well, without even reading the requirement, if you understand the scenario very well, you will be guessing what they are going to ask you in the requirement without seeing it.
Yes.
That's one point that we also need to note. Okay, go on, man. Go on.
Yes, no in-depth understanding of each of the chapters. And if you don't have an in-depth understanding of each of the chapters, when it comes to interpreting the scenario, you won't be able to interpret the scenario. That's number 1 mistake I was making.
Yes.
Number 2, writing sufficiently. Like writing sufficiently, not just out of point, though. Write something that is meaningful, that is relatable. I don't used to do those ones too. I just write and I feel that, look, in fact, last diet, the number 1 question, I was so happy. I was even telling one of my friends that, this diet, nothing will make me come back. But I got 14 over 100. And I cried that when I saw the result, I couldn't sleep. I said, okay, what happened? I don't know what happened, but I wrote everything. I wrote the 5. In fact, my whole book was full and all of that. And then when you started, I will start from the beginning again to trace my mistake. I saw that what I did, I went back to the person and saw that what I did was total rubbish. I was just writing just to fool my book, make it be say I write, but I wasn't actually writing what is relatable to that exam. So that's, but now I have learned from everything you have done, I have learned, and I believe that this diet, I will ace it. Thank you.
Amen. So you know different person comes with different strategy and different approach. Like I said, I think I mentioned it that for example, in the exam, they can ask you that what are the essential elements? List the essential elements. They give you scenario. They now say list the essential elements that must be incorporated in the auditor's report. Maybe you now remember that this is not the auditor's report, the element of auditor's report that Mr. Edith mentioned that time. Not those date, signature, auditor signature, addressing this thing. If you mention that one, first, you are wrong. You are wrong because it does not go along with what they ask you in the exam as at that time. You are correct because it is actually part of tertiary element of auditor's it's actually part of element of auditor's report, but they are not essential. The question said list the essential parts that must be incorporated in the auditor's report. You see where you cannot get it wrong now. So you don't understand very well that what are the essential parts, you end up writing another thing. So if you write that one, maybe the it should be 7 marks. You are not correct, but you are not writing. That is why I said you should understand the given scenario and understand the requirement. Very, very important. Okay, let's hear from Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard, good morning, sir. Mr. Richard, good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I was actually laughing when the last lady that spoke about her experience, but like we're on the same boat and all of that.
Good morning,
I've written
sir.
the exam for the fourth time and all of that. And I can tell you for free that I read the pack back to back, but most of the time when you see the question in the exam, you write and everything. You're thinking you have written what you have written, but you're writing OP. Not until now that I discovered that actually there are basic things that the examiner is actually requesting for, like the way you explain, like the aspect of the key things you should pay attention for asset valuation on land and building. I was looking at it in a different direction until when you broke out the exam, the answer, so this is the part that I usually miss it and all of that. So I think I really appreciate your effort and everything. And we pray that all that we have done these few months will yield result, fruitful result at the end. Thank you so much, Sam.
Amen. Amen. So, like I used to say, like if we have to consider the aspect of what we paid for this class, I'm not sure the money we paid can be commensurate with what we are receiving. I'm not trying to hide myself, but in another way, it actually self-esteem. I know that if you are getting this kind of lecture, you are paying not less than 50,000 naira. And I will just tell you the basic things. It's just for me to come and explain. This aspect of revision class will not be there. I'm doing this because I love imparting and I love like just see what I can do to just help others. I might not have this kind of opportunity during my time because I have five. We are 5 friends from my school, and we are 5 friends from my school, and the 5 of us we are chartered accountants now. But out of that 5, 4 of them are in Lagos. They used to see each other, write exam together, go to lesson together. But I'm the only one in Benin. No, nothing, but the only time is just to talk on phone, they just put me through or so I have to sit tight myself and get through all these things by myself. But I've learned all these things by myself, and when you are not considering, some people think that should be paid now, so you should be able to believe, but you actually forgotten that what you paid for cannot even be in the same, cannot be commensurate with what you are receiving. So money is not everything sometimes. That is why I used to create this avenue after the class. If you have learned 1 or 2 things, your feedback will give me more morale to do more. So the next question we are going to solve will follow another strategy. Don't forget that this chapter is on chapter 7, which is audit planning. It's not linked to chapter 3, where we have ethical consideration. It's also linked to which part here? Let me see the part. About 4 or 5 parts now that this thing linked to. This audit risk is also linked to chapter 6, audit risk. What are the risks associated? So someone asked me that, what is business risk and financial statement risk? That she not understand. I said, I know you know it. And I asked her again, what is business risk? She now said, business risk is that possibility that the business will not go to achieve their objective. I said, that is business risk. You understand? So what is now the problem? She now said, but she not understand the example. I said from the definition you can see the example. One of the examples is that possibility that you are not the company is not going to meet their objective is one of the examples of that associated with that businesses. Another example is the risk of that the company is not going to what is not going to be in operation till eternity is another risk associated with any business. And then after, what is financial statement risk? And I said that financial statement risk is the risk that the financial statement is going to be materially misstated. I said, yes, you are correct. So what is that the example? She now understands. I said, one of the examples is the risk of overstatement. If you overstate your financial statement, it is the risk that the account is going to be materially misstated. If you understate too, if there is risk that the account is going to be materially misstated, I now understand now. So different approach. You can see that this question goes with audit planning, chapter 7, audit risk, chapter 6, go to chapter 3, ethical code, go to chapter 8, where we have unqualified, go to chapter 14, where we have audit report in the aspect of modify and qualified opinion. So this is how we are expected to. So I will not be class next week Saturday because I'll be traveling. But I am sure Wednesday, yes, we'll have another private class where we can solve another question. So, okay, Olashade, you have something to say? Please,
Yes,
you
thank you very much. Yes, I know. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And I think everybody has said it all, and I'm having another perspective now. But I just want to ask a question quickly. So, like this question now, we are not supposed to write reports. We just answer the question.
No, you're not writing any report now. The requirement does not ask you to write reports, does it? No. Do you understand? So meaning that if you write report, you have go against this number 2, which says understand the given requirement. The requirement does not state we should write reports. Do you understand now?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Madam Miriam on this call. Madam Miriam, please be on the call. Let me just use your emoji, man. Okay, all right. Okay, so thank you, everybody. This is where we are going to stop for today. But please let us also read. We have the group chat. So if you have any question, don't come to my DM directly. Put it in our private group chat. Let us see. We discuss about it together and we see what we
Please,
are going
let
to
me
do.
ask my question
And
now.
for those of us, okay.
Please, I was just typing to you now. You say we should not come to your DM. So let me just say it here. Please, my iPad is not with me this period.
I'm saying that hold on. No, I'm saying that if you have questions that will benefit others, instead of putting it in my DM, put it in the private. I'm not saying you should not DM me. Like that's not what I meant to.
No. I would say, please just help me resend your notes. My notes is in my iPad, and my iPad is not with me this period. That first note we sent when we started the class. I just forwarded to the class again. Thank you.
No problem. Is it the question repeated on chapter 3 in the general class?
No, the whole notes, your summarized notes. I have it before.
Okay.
But in my iPad, is my daughter is using it.
No problem. Noted. So for those of us that are also joining on YouTube, like I said, disclaimer, I'm not coming to your DM that you should come and join my private class. I intentionally put this class on live on YouTube for you to know that money is not everything. Some actually don't have the money or capacity, but they don't even have good character to even work towards it. I've had issues like this guy, like Kadu usually like used to call me at some time, telling me a lot of things. Sometimes I used to be very, very angry. But I'll just say that because of one person's stupidity, she not make me do, she not just deter me from doing what I'm supposed to do for the sake of others. I'll just ignore. So a lot of things. Like I said, I'm not trying to you that you come and get the private classroom, but this is what you enjoy when you're in private class. You can see it yourself. And this same energy is what I'll be using in the general class too. So nobody cannot come and tell me that, oh, you are biased because these people are in the private class, you are doing this thing to them. I use the same energy. Do you know that sometimes the chapter I treated in the general class, I will not read the chapter again in the private class. I will just send it to the private class that, oh, this is what we treated yesterday. Oh, yeah, read it. Because it's the same energy, it's the same me. It's the same energy. So, but it might come in another dimension. By the time we treat another question, this question, and the way I explain, and I use another energy, like I might be more agile the day I will treat it in the general class. Because this question, I'm still going to treat it in general class again. Couple with some other question that I'm trying to like evaluate so that we are just going to enjoy. I just want us to pass and go. I can't just imagine when someone say I've written it 4 times, 5 times. Let us just do it what we're supposed to do and move on. So no matter Allah can our effort and help us. I wish everybody the best of luck. So this is where we are going to stop for today. Then I'm going to send the recording of this class later to the group after 3 hours. So you get it for if you want to revisit it again for better understanding. So this is where we are going to stop for today. Thank you everybody for staying through. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. So see you on Wednesday, inshallah. See you on
Thank
Wednesday.
you.